Hey guys, I want to try to make this a quick video. I know a lot of people are wondering what happened, why I decided to relax. So briefly, I'm just going to tell you that I was natural for 6 years. I was natural for about 2 years prior to joining the military. So I was natural in the Navy for 4 years. My whole life basically, well, I'll say 6th grade. About 6th grade is when my mother started to relax my hair at my request. My parents didn't want me to get the relaxer, but I begged and begged and begged, and so they finally let me get it. And then in 7th grade, I believe, they started implementing the pool into our PT classes, and the relaxers mixed with the constant chlorine, mixed with me not washing my hair properly or frequently enough, and basically having no hair routine. My hair broke off really, really bad. And so for the next, let's see, I was about 12 or 13 at that time, so almost for another 7-8 years I was just consistently wearing weave. That's all I wore for a very long time. I literally could not go to the mailbox without having some type of weave or some type of wig on my head. I started wearing wigs after high school. I think after I got out of college. I was only in college for about a year and a half, and I wore short cuts that whole time, like a really, really short, like a pixie cut. And then after I got out, started working, bills were piling up, I was stressed out, I didn't have time to worry about my hair, so I basically wore wigs all the time. And I would literally, like, as gross as it sounds, I would literally go weeks without washing my hair. I would moisturize it every day with the oil-based moisturizer, never putting water in it for weeks at a time, not really knowing that I was doing damage to my hair. And it will grow fine. I would cut it really short, like I said, like a pixie cut, and then it will grow back till about here pretty quickly, and then it would just stop. So I just decided that I was going to start taking better care of my hair. I wanted to have long hair, and my sister had long hair, my mom had long hair. It seemed like there was no reason why I shouldn't, be able to have longer hair too. So I started researching online, started watching a lot of YouTube videos, and obviously natural hair was not as prevalent at that time as it is right now. So the majority of the videos I was watching was teaching you how to take care of your relaxed hair. And my favorite at the time was Atia. And she relied on Affigy for her routine. So I bought all the Affigy products, really started taking care of my hair, and I saw results almost immediately. Like within a month, my hair had totally transformed in terms of shine, in terms of manageability, and I actually started wearing my real hair out to work. And then through watching more and more healthy hair care videos and developing a regimen of my own, I started to see some natural hair videos. And I don't really remember what her name is in particular that really caught me. I can't think of her name right now, but anyway, I decided to go natural. I transitioned for about 10 months. I transitioned mostly with braids, but I also did it with the sew-in. As soon as I took the sew-in out, my mom did my big chop, which is on my old channel, Queen Cleopatra 0606. That big chop video is still there. And then after I did that, I mean, my hair was not what I expected it to be, because my relaxed ends were weighing down obviously my curls, so the pattern was totally different than what I expected it to be, and I freaked out. My mom had already done her big chop, so we went natural together, but I transitioned and she just flat out did her big chop. So she had been working with her completely natural texture longer than I had been. So she helped me. I think at that time I was using like Infusium 23 and the Cantu Shea Leave-In, and it really helped me. And I would just wet it, put those products in, put a little headband on, and hopefully I'll remember to insert some of those pictures here because I still have them on my Facebook. But yeah, so I really learned to love my hair, and I was not wearing weave at all. After my big chop, I didn't wear weave, and I loved it. And the thing that I love so much about being natural was, like I said before, I just felt like my hair wasn't good enough. You know, I had to have some type of extensions, some type of braiding hair, some type of something in my hair so that it feels long, so that it feels pretty. You know, if there's an event or something, there's no way I can just style my hair and go to an event. You know, I gotta get some hair from somewhere. So it was great to feel comfortable and confident enough that regardless of the event, regardless of the outing, I can just wear my hair and feel pretty. And of course, that coupled with me joining the military really changed my whole outlook on life, about the types of products that I use, about the type of foods that I eat, taking better care of my body, working out more, drinking more water. It just was a trickle, you know, effect for me. Now, in terms of the hair, I had a dark moment when I joined the military, just because, you know, it's hard enough to keep your hair in regulations, but on top of that, adding the texture, adding the headgear, you know, not just your cover, but your cranial and, you know, things that you have to wear for your particular job, it just made things worse for me. And just being in and out of the racks and stuff on the plane, and all the Velcro was ripping at my hair. It was just a lot, mixed with, you know, going through boot camp and, you know, the RDC saying all kind of things that were hurtful to me about the texture of my hair, and there being only a few black women. You know, the most of my division was white, and so saying those hurtful things in that setting really discouraged me and really put me in a bad place at that time. But I mean, like I said, over the years, I've really grown to love and accept and appreciate myself, and really not care what other people think. And so, yeah, I made it to 6 years. I made it to waist length, and I'll insert those pictures here. And then I think what really made, I had been thinking about relaxing again for probably about 6-7 months or so, and what really clinched me and made me make that decision was the fact that I was getting ready to deploy again. And the last time we didn't have hot water for a long time, so I was not deep conditioning, and I was not having time to prep. It's not, you know, you want to go out a lot, you know, when you have some free time after work, but you don't have the opportunity to prep your hair the way you would, you know, if you were at home, because you don't have that weekend time. You know what I mean? Your hair has to be in regs during the day, so I need to keep it in a bun, but, you know, I don't have the prep time to be able to style my hair without using heat, and I hardly ever use heat on my hair, natural or relaxed. And I maybe once or twice will use heat on my hair, so that wasn't an option for me. And it made it more of a burden, more of a hassle on me, mixed with all the other things going on with deployment, and I was also going to school at the time. It was just a lot. Plus, my hair was just getting longer and longer, and my detangling sessions were taking longer and longer. Styling during the week was a breeze. Like I said, I just keep in a bun all the time. I wear a braid out on the weekends. Styling was not an issue. It was just the detangling, and I felt like that manipulation was causing my hair to break. And so I felt like I've done what I needed to do. I learned to accept myself, prove to myself that, yeah, anybody, even you, can grow your hair long. And it just wasn't really worth the hassle of it all anymore. You know, when I first went natural, I was like, oh, this got silicone in it. Oh, this has beeswax in it. Oh, it's got mineral oil in it. You know, blah, blah, blah. With all the products, I could only use all natural, awesome, you know, ingredients. And, you know, oh, you can't color your hair, or you're not really natural. You can't flat iron your hair, you're not really natural. Or your curl pattern's loosening, you're not really natural. Like, I put a lot of restrictions on myself. And from going from relaxed to natural for 6 years, and now back to relax, and seeing a lot of the drama and back and forth within the natural hair community, it just felt more like yo, this is not really that big a deal. Whether you want to color your hair, or you want to relax it, or you want to wear a weave, or you want to be natural, whatever you want to do, as long as you have a solid regimen, a solid routine for taking care of your hair, then your hair is going to be fine. It's all a preference, you know. Obviously, the more chemical processes you put in your hair, the more you have to do to maintain it. You can't afford to skip deep conditioning. You know, you got to make sure you stay up on your protein treatment, so it puts a little more on your routine, but you're detangling less, and you're just able to manipulate it less. Like, I hardly ever use a comb. Finger detangling is a snap. I style with my fingers. I mean, it's easy, and my hair is flourishing. I did cut off about 4 or 5 inches when I got my relaxer, cut off all the rest of the color, and I'm starting fresh. I don't want to mix relaxer and color. I just don't want to deal with that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm about, what month is this? Almost 8 weeks. I'm almost maybe a couple days over 8 weeks post relaxer, and I haven't flat ironed or used my curling wand or any of that stuff. I blow dried it twice. The first 2 weeks I blow dried, and then I realized that I didn't need to. Like, my braid outs still turn out awesome, even when I don't blow dry them, and they're, you know, still stretched out. So I don't blow dry at all. And I pretty much do my same regular routine. I still co-wash 2 or 3 days out of the week. I still deep condition and do my hot oil treatments on the weekend. The only thing that's really different is that I use the Apogee 2-minute reconstructor every other week. I make sure I do that, and I don't use nearly as much product. I'm not so heavy-handed with the product. It's just easier to distribute the product with it being straighter, and also, you know, my sebum can naturally roll down my scalp, so that helps it stay moisturized longer too. And that's it. I'm probably going to let it grow out again. I don't know if I necessarily want to get to waist length again. I'm not as caught up in length as I was before, but I definitely do want to maintain it longer. I don't want to do any more cutting. And yeah, so I plan to do another video about the pros and cons of being natural and of being relaxed, but I don't want this video to be too long. I just kind of wanted to let you guys know that I am not one of those people that was like, oh, I had 4C hair, my hair was ratchet, you know, I could not maintain it natural, it was just too hard, and I went back to the creamy crack. That's not my story. I had a good time being natural. I wouldn't be opposed to going natural again if, you know, it suited me, if I decided to, for whatever reason. I think I just needed a change, really. Like I said, I've been doing that for 6 years. And my hair was a lot of different textures. I didn't have 4C hair. It was like some 4A, some 4B. It was mixed all over the place. And the back was even looser from a Dominican blowout that I gotten a couple years before. So I had all kinds of textures up in my head. But it was manageable. Like I said, I always kept in the bun, and I always wear my braid outs, and my braid outs were bomb. So, I mean, nothing's really changed in my regimen, in my routine. It's just quicker and easier detangling. That's about it. Trying to think if there's anything I forgot. I'm trying to do a preemptive strike of any questions that you guys might have. But if I missed anything, let me know. I'll do an updated video on the products that I'm using now, which, by the way, I'm loving Win and their line. And I'll do a separate review on that because I really, really do love that line. But yeah, any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.